Who are these people?
That's the cast of Lower Decks.
That's Lower Decks, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Hi, hello, it's Keith F. Shelvin of Trekkers Delight Network. Joined me tonight is Jason McCammon as
Hello.
we're doing a Trek That recap of all the Star Trek news that came out in New York Comic Con 2024. It is October 20th, 2024, so uh, basically they went from Thursday through Saturday with news throughout each of the 3 days, and there's a lot to break down. As your Jason asked, so you may not recognize them, but that's the cast of Lower Decks with Mike McMahon, the showrunner and lead writer.
Who is on
And
the
go,
left? Who is on the far left, correct? With the microphone in his hand.
yes, and
Yes.
then it goes. There's Eugene Cordero, who is Samantha Rutherford, Noel Wells, Devon Attendee, Jack Quaid, Bradward Boimler, and Tawny uh,
Newsom.
Newsom. Yeah, Tawny. Thank you. I started thinking Nelson. That's not right. Beckett Mariner. Of course, we've seen Tawny and Jack as the live action versions of their characters in the Strange New
Great,
Worlds episode, Those Old
great
Scientists.
episode. Great episode.
Absolutely. So we got a lot to cover, a lot of news. So let's go ahead and hit those opening credits.
All right. We got opening credits.
All right. So as I said, New York Comic Con was at the Javits Center in New York City this weekend, and there were panels throughout the weekend. There was Nacelle, who is the new toy maker for Star Trek, taking over for Playmates.
I am so mad that I was not working that venue because my company actually did provide service for Comic Con. So I am extremely upset that I was not working because that would have worked out well for us and for me, as a person, that would have been so great. I did do the last one. The last one I did was right before the epidemic, pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was that? 2020.
No, in 2019, fall of 2019.
I did one. No, it was like winter, 2019, 2020, I think.
All right, it would have been really early 2020 because everything
Yeah,
shut down in March.
yeah, it was really early 2020 because we saw things starting to cancel after that. So yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt,
No,
but
no, it's fine. No, this is good.
yeah,
Okay, all right. So spin the wheel. What do you want to hear? We got Strange New Worlds. We got Section 31. We got Lower Decks. We got Starfleet Academy, and we got toys. What do you want to hit first?
shit. Well, let's go with Section 31. What is going on
Okay,
with our movie with Michelle
Section
Yeoh?
Section 31. So we now have a date streaming on January 24th on Paramount Plus. So this is the cover that they now feature online with all of the cast. And then this is the official poster. We now have we have the names of all of the characters. We had rumors of names before, but now they're all confirmed. So let me bring that up. So looking here at them from left to right, of course, there's Michelle Yeoh back as Philippa Georgiou. Next up, we have Omari Hardwick. And, IMDb has not updated with the names. How nice of them.
So apparently, Michelle Yeoh was really adamant about having this go forward. and
Yeah,
make it
she
through.
loved playing Giorgio so
Yeah.
much.
So kudos to you, Michelle Yeoh. We've been watching you for decades, and
Mhm.
people didn't even know we didn't even know we were watching you, but we were, right? We've seen Jackie Chan movies and whatnot. Um, I'm
Yeah.
kind of excited to see what's gonna go on. Like it's so like open slate, you know, about what they can do with the series. With I'm not sorry, series with the movie.
Right. You know,
And
it was originally supposed to be a series, but she is so busy now that she couldn't do a series.
right, you got others. I'm sorry, I'm famous. I'm famous now. You can only have me for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And she has not called me at all. So I guess she's.
Michelle, why haven't you done that? Call
Why,
Jason.
why haven't you called Jason at all?
Oh, that's a shame. Okay,
Um,
so, huh.
so are you personally as a man named Keith, excited about Section 31? Are you just like, oh, whatever? I don't really care about it.
I'm cautiously optimistic. I think it's going to be good because I trust in Michelle Yeoh and everything I've seen her in, whether it be Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or the couple appearances in Marvel movies, or of course her Academy Award winning performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I trust that she is going to do, do a good job.
Well, she is, but that doesn't
Right.
mean the writing is. That doesn't mean the directing is. You know,
True.
um,
But I imagine she probably final got a chance of we'll get a chance to see the final cut and not
do,
just letting.
do you think we will see connections between Section 31 and things that have happened throughout our understanding and history of Star Trek, TNG, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, and
Well,
and
that's that's a good question, and we actually have an answer to that.
okay.
So we have the cast here. So of course, first up is Amari Hardwick as Alok. Then you see Sam Richardson as Quasi, who is a Cameloid, just like Amon in Star Trek Six: The Undiscovered Country. So this is a second chance seeing a quasi shapeshifter.
Wait, who is that? I'm not understanding.
If you look at the C of Section 31, the actor's name is Sam Richardson. He's been
Yes.
on. Uh, he's a comedian. He was in the Tomorrow War on Amazon. He was in Ted Lasso and the After Party on Apple TV Plus, and quite a few other things over the past few years. So yeah, he'll be playing a cameloid. So that's a return of a species we haven't seen since Star Trek Six: The Undiscovered Country.
Cameloid.
Yes, remember Iman? She was the in the prison with them, and
Oh
she turned
yes, yes, yes. So she was a shapeshift. She was the shapeshifter.
right. So Quasi Sam Richards' character is like her. In the T there you have Casey Roll. She was in the Fox series Gifted, which was an X-Men series. Uh, it's set in the X-Men universe, and she's had a few other things. But here she plays Rachel Garrett as a Section 31 officer, young Rachel Garrett, who we saw in yesterday's Enterprise as the captain of the Enterprise C.
Oh wow. Okay.
So this tells you that this happened sometime in the early 24th century because she was captain in 2344 when the Enterprise C was destroyed. And obviously, Casey is in her late 20s. So that would definitely put it somewhere around 2320, 2325, which is a part of the time, what's considered the lost era in Star Trek.
Okay.
So next up after that, we have, let's see, Humberly Gonzalez as Mel. She's the woman in the eye there.
I don't
The
know.
O,
I do not know who that is.
yeah. Then we have Sven Roygrock as Fuzz, and Robert Kaczynski as Seth. And so this was the first. They just announced the names from where we know Casey Roll, of course, Garrett Richardson. That
I guess
Sven Roygrock is a South African actor known for his role as Rambo in the Spud film franchise. Robert Kaczynski was in Captain Marvel and Pacific Rim. Humberly Gonzalez was in Ginny and Georgia.
you don't have you gotta show pictures of these people, man.
They're right up there. They're on the screen right now.
No, no, no. All I see is Section 31.
You don't see the people standing in the number thing. So.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I didn't understand
Yeah.
that's what was going on.
Yeah, so there's Michelle Yeoh, Marty Hardwick, Sam Richardson.
I thought that dude looked like what's the rapper's name? Oh no, that dude. Okay, that dude is in what is that movie on Star? What is that show on Stars with 50 Cent? Um,
I'm not sure.
I know what you're talking about. Power.
Oh yes. Amari Hardwick. Yeah, he's in with some Power.
He's in Power.
Yes,
which I have not watched, which I probably need to, but I got so many fucking subscriptions to watch everything. It's killing me. All right.
Casey, Humberly, Sven, and Robert Kaczynski.
All right, who's this guy in the middle right now?
This guy, I believe that's Sven. Hold on, let me double check. Yes, that's Sven Roygrock, South African actor.
You know what the thing is? It's so interesting that they could do, right? Because Star Trek, Starfleet, let me say specifically, is so very high and righteous, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is an episode in Deep Space Nine where the high and righteousness of Starfleet comes into question, and Benjamin Sisko has to do something sort of, I want to say, devious to get the Romulans on board to fight the war. You know what I'm talking about, Keith.
Yeah, In the Pale Moonlight. One of the best episodes of Star Trek, period.
Right. I would like to see certain things in Section 31 that are aligned with that sort of idea and story, right? Like we wouldn't have had this outcome if Section 31 hadn't broken the rules to bring the Romulans in, or the Cardassians in, or the Klingons in for the greater good.
Yeah. Well, and it has been considered analogous to like the CIA in the United States, that they are the undercover. Yeah. These are the people making stuff happen behind the scenes, and if you know that they're doing something, that's a problem.
Yes.
And the way Section 31 was first introduced in Deep Space Nine and then brought up again in Enterprise was that it was this secret organization, but then Discovery basically made it that most people seem to know about it. Like there were Section 31 people on the ship from the beginning.
I was a little bothered by that. Oh, the black badges, there's Section 31. And it's just like, I would have rather them be, what are those black badges?
Yeah.
I have no idea what they are.
Well, they did say what are those black badges when they first got on Discovery. But the thing is, you already had, they let us know that you already had Section 31 people on the ship from the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we have a streaming date for it. There was the trailer that already came out, the teaser trailer. There will be another trailer coming soon. Most likely it'll be out during the run of Lower Decks, because Lower Decks Season 5 is due to end on December 19th. So just 1 month away from when Section 31 premieres. So that was the big Section 31 news. Rolling the dice, next we're going to go to Strange New Worlds. Now, Strange New Worlds, it was announced There it is. So, Strange New Worlds. It was hinted, and it was announced a few months ago that it already has been confirmed for season 4. And they released at San Diego Comic-Con a clip from season 3 that showed La'an, Uhura, Pike, and Chapel being turned into Vulcans in order to be sent down on an away mission with Spock. Apparently, it was a planet that could only be visited by Vulcans, and Spock was the only Vulcan on the ship. So they are genetically altered, and they basically start razzing on Spock because of their genetic alterations, they are full Vulcan, and he's still only half Vulcan.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so that came out back during SDCC back in July. So for New York Comic Con, we got a little bit of news, and we got a clip which picks up right where we left off at the end of season 2. You had the Enterprise coming to the rescue of Captain Batel's ship that was at a colony that was attacked by the Gorn. You had Chapel was on the ship. They were trying to rescue them, and then everyone was being beamed out, and it found out they were actually beamed onto the Gorn ship. And so you had people on the Gorn ship that they needed to get free. They're under attack by this Gorn destroyer, and their orders are to retreat, and Pike kind of froze in the final seconds of season 2. So we pick up right where that leaves off, with him deciding what to do and how to do it. And of course, they come up with a way to distract the Gorn by realizing that to mess with their communications to keep them from being able to coordinate their attacks. And then they charge at the Gorn destroyer so that they can tag it, so that they could then leave and rendezvous with the rest of the fleet and still be able to identify what ship that their people have been beamed onto.
Well, first of all, I do like Strange New Worlds. I have an issue with the way they portray the Gorn, which is just they portray them as just like these mindless horror creatures, right?
Well, not so much mindless. I mean,
They portray them
adult,
pretty
they
much.
were definitely horror. I mean, they were definitely more animal than what we saw in the original series.
Right.
Yes. Yes, the lizard creature whose mouth never moved.
Right. Also, how interested personally are you into what's going to happen with Pike and how? Right?
Well, we still know what's going to happen to him.
We know what's going to happen to him. Are you personally interested in seeing that happen on tape, like in front of you on film?
We did already.
No, we saw a glimpse.
Yes, but we saw the explosion, we saw the fire, and then of course him being in the wheelchair.
Are you interested in seeing that as an episode of something that happens, or a movie of something that happens? That's my question.
I feel like it's already been covered. I don't think they need to cover it again.
Okay, so you don't feel like it's necessary.
Yeah, I feel like the natural ending of Strange New Worlds is Pike leaving the ship and Kirk beaming on board as the new captain.
Okay.
Pike beaming down to Earth to take over his role as fleet captain and teacher at the academy.
How do you feel about the new Kirk?
I like the new Kirk. Paul Wesley.
I actually do like him. Like if you would have asked me, like just looking at it, I would have said no. But after watching it, I was like, you know what? I think he's actually pretty good. Maybe I feel like he doesn't have enough muscle mass to match.
Yeah.
Right.
He is skinny, and he's older than the character is supposed to be.
Yeah.
90s Trek did a good job of casting actors that were younger than what they said they were to show that aging, you live to be much longer in the future. They had 40-year-old characters, and they said they were 60. Like Patrick Stewart was 54 when the show premiered, and it was 2363, and he had been born in 2305.
Wait,
So
wait. Patrick Stewart was 54
yes,
when TNG started.
yes,
Oh my God.
yes. Yeah, Will Wheaton is now older than Patrick Stewart was at the beginning of Next Generation, and you compare the two of them, and it's night and day.
Well, it's funny because if you watch like the Golden Girls, who are all in their 60s, and then you see women of their 60s nowadays, it's like they don't look like that. That's not how women look.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you got to remember the oldest one of them, Estelle Getty. This character was supposed to be the oldest, and as in her late 80s, but she was actually the youngest of the four.
yeah, she was the youngest.
But yeah, they were all. Yeah, they show retired life for these women in their 60s. When yeah, women in their 60s don't look like that anymore.
At all.
Yeah.
They're actually way better looking.
Well, just for point of notice, today is the 60th birthday of Vice President Kamala Harris, who's currently running for the presidency of the United States.
Hey, Kamala.
Now, compare how she looks to the 60-year-olds.
Right. To Golden Girls. To Golden Girls, right?
Yeah. Of course, you have those were all white women, so there's going to be more signs of aging at times, but yeah, they definitely looked a lot older than a common 60-year-old looks now.
I mean, Latino women age too. I don't see. No, they everybody ages. My point is that, um, actually, I mean, if we're going to talk politically, I'm not happy about all of our choices. I think.
Well, we're not getting into all that this episode. We're going to make this, but I was just pointing out that she turned 60 today, so as comparison to Golden Girls, so she definitely looks like younger. All right, so
when in Star Trek have we had an election needed to be emphasized or directed to?
There was never, I don't remember an episode or a movie that included an election, but I know the comics have definitely hit on elections. In Star Trek Year 5, the continuation of the original series in comic form, they had two elections. First, they returned to Sigma Iosha 6 from the episode Piece of the Action, in which that was the planet that completely redid its society based off the book Chicago Mobs of the 1920s. And in the end, McCoy said he left his communicator by accident, and so they returned to the planet in the comics, and it is now a 23rd century democracy in which they elect a new president and administration every 2 weeks.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, you had the mob boss that they were dealing with.
A new president of what?
Of the planet.
Okay.
Yeah. So you had the mob boss that you saw in the original series show was a former president now. And so part of the storyline was that Spock actually ran for president. Then later in the series, in that comics, they had the election for Federation president, in which it was the Attorney General of the Federation who was played. Well, actually, this is we are going to cover this in another future episode of Trek That. You had an election between the Attorney General of the Federation, who was the woman that was the prosecuting attorney in Court Martial, the episode of original series first season where Kirk was put on court martial for for accidentally killing an officer, and she's running against Harry Mudd.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Attorney General of the Federation versus Harry Mudd. So if there is ever, I mean, the comparison between that and our
follow the comics, but that sounds actually crazy to me.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a good series. A 15-part series for year
far as,
5,
as
and
far
it
as
wraps it up right into the motion picture. So
as far as the quote canon uh Star Trek, all I can think of is Star Trek five, four, five, six. When uh the Jesus fucking Christ, I can't remember my Star Trek.
Star
Uh,
Trek 6: Undiscovered Countries, when you had the Klingons, where their chancellor is assassinated and
yeah,
his daughter
yes,
is
yes.
appointed the replacement.
And then Kirk saves them at the last second. Like that's all I can think of. Is anything political.
Well, yeah, you had a Federation president in Star Trek 4. They never gave him a name. They just kept on calling him the Federation president.
I
Then
knew
you
it had
had
to be. I knew it had to be at least Star Trek 6 because I know that all the all the even numbers are the Star Treks that I like, and the odd numbers are the Star Treks that I don't like.
yeah, that's the standard thing. The even numbers are the best. The odd numbers are.
Yeah, yes. So Star Trek 4, Voyage Home, we all like. It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's not like hardcore. You wouldn't say it's a hardcore Star Trek movie, but you would say Star Trek 4 is it's a fun movie. Like we
Yeah,
are, it's enjoyable. And then
yeah.
Star
It's
Trek 5,
nicknamed the one with the whales.
the one with the whales. Then Star Trek 5 comes along, and we're like, we don't know what's going on here. And
Yeah,
then Star Trek 6 is like, oh, okay, this is fun. This is good again. We like this. This is let's do it. Right?
yeah,
Same thing with Star Trek 1 and then Star Trek 2, which is one of the best movies. And then you go to Star Trek 3, which is like
yeah. It's okay.
it's okay. They blew up the Enterprise, right?
Yeah,
Which was a big deal, big fucking deal. But now I feel like, oh, now they destroy starships whenever they feel like it for you know.
well, no, there is a sort of symmetry to it. Like when Generations, they wanted to destroy the D because they wanted to move on to a new ship for the movies. But and then in the third of the Kelvin movies, they destroyed the Enterprise because they were mirroring the fact that the Enterprise was destroyed in the third of the original movies. So, but
Nothing.
let's get back to the news that we're going through here.
I'll just say one thing: nothing will replace or overcome the feeling or idea of when the Enterprise was destroyed for the first time in Star Trek 3.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
that was
I will
quite a
move.
moment.
I will move on
Okay.
at this point.
All right. So part of the Strange New World announcement was we have not so much a new cast member, but we have a new guest star that will be appearing in season 3, and that where to go?
Michelle
Uh,
Yeoh, yay!
there it is. Reese Darby will be appearing in season 3 of Strange New Worlds as a guest star. And from the announcement, they said that he will be playing a legacy character. So a character that we have already met in Star Trek.
Mm.
I was watching the Trek Culture video about this, doing a breakdown, and they were discussing, well, could it be Trelane? Which I hope it's not Trelane. That
No,
he was fine in the one episode. That says it could be Cybok because we only saw
no.
Cybok from behind.
Let's just leave Cybok. Let's just
Well,
forget.
you know Cybok is going to show up at some point because they teased him.
No,
And Reese is a comedic actor. He's a New Zealander. He's Kiwi. He was star of the HBO Max series Our Flag Means Death, which is an excellent series. Seen him in so many things over the years, and he's been great in. So, and obviously, he can't be Harry Mudd because that's already been covered. They already covered Rainn Wilson from
yeah,
The Office is Harry Mudd.
yeah. I think we should keep him as Harry Martin.
So, who do you think for a legacy actor? Like, could he be McCoy?
No, absolutely not. I hope not. Please do not do that.
No, yeah, he definitely wouldn't be a good McCoy.
Like that would. Oh my god. Yeah, no, please do not be McCoy. Please do not be a star a star character, and
Well,
he would have to be some character from the past that we've forgotten about, and then we're like, oh yeah, that dude.
yeah.
Like O'Connell was in Prodigy, right?
Oh, O'Connor. Yeah, Billy
O'Connell,
Campbell is O'Connor. Yes.
O'Connell, yeah, like he was. Like, oh yeah, we forgot about that dude, but here he is.
Yeah.
He has to be somebody like that.
Right.
Um,
So that would be someone original series. So he could be a Klingon. He could be Kang or Koloff or
he could be a
Kor.
original series or TNG series. He doesn't
No,
have to be.
no, not for Strange New Worlds. It would be most likely original series.
Oh yeah, because it's before TNG, right? Okay,
So, yeah,
gotcha.
before TOS. So yeah, like I said, I'm hoping it's not Trelane, even though I could actually see him as a Trelane.
He might be a fucking Andorian actually. Now that I think about it.
Mm. And then the only named Andorian we had in the original series was Shras, the ambassador from Journey to Babel. He could be the Tellarite ambassador from that episode, or ooh,
I
how
don't like
about Garth of Izar?
I don't like Tellarites. Those guys just
Nobody does. Tellarites don't even like Tellarites.
like they don't. I mean, even on Prodigy it was like, okay, we I like them on there, but in general, I can do without them. I would like to see a series where what happened with First Contact. What
Well,
happened.
Enterprise sort of takes that on. Yes, 100 years later.
It's like 100 years later, but I would like to see like what happened initially with
Yeah.
fucking First Contact. Okay, we got aliens. What did we do about that? Anyway, go. You
Yeah.
know, go.
So this is going to be something that we're going to be discussing, and it's going to be a point of discussion until we see a trailer for season 3, which I was surprised that they didn't have a trailer for it yet. And we don't have a date for when it will be. I'm just going to throw it out there and say February. They're going to put, Lower Deck season 5 is going to end on December 19th. Christmas, New Year's, and then it's all going to be building up the hype for Section 31 on January 24th.
When
Then
is
you want to give 2 to 3 weeks at least.
when is season 3 airing?
But they haven't announced it yet, so I'm guessing it's going to be February, March at the latest.
I think that's too soon. If season 2, wait. Oh yeah, no. Okay, I got you. Never mind.
Yeah, season 2 ended months ago. In
Yeah.
fact, it ended last year.
Right. So season
The only reason it isn't done already was because of the writers and actors strike last summer.
right. So season 3 should be by spring.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So that's to be when we get Strange New World season 3, and then of course we'll be getting Starfleet Academy shortly after that.
Okay.
All right. So let's take a quick ad break.
Oh, we got advertisements.
Yes.
Buy these shoes, everybody. The shoes are gonna make you feel good every day.
Yep.
No, it's
Sorry.
not. It's not shoes.
There. No. Sorry, just making sure I go to this right. And
Not shoes, everybody. Don't buy any shoes. Sorry.
oh no, you can buy shoes, but we're not advertising shoes.
No, yeah, don't buy shoes, anybody. We're not advertising for those.
So for the past few months, I've been trying out a new vendor called Sticker Mule. You upload your artwork and you can make merchandise to help promote your brand. They do obviously stickers, but they also do other things like T-shirts, keychains, buttons. So things to check out. So if you check out in the description below, you have a click to sign up for Sticker Mule using our link, and you'll get $10 off your first order. Now, if you go to stickermule.com/deals, you'll see every week that they have a new deal posted that always comes with free shipping. So let's see, take a look at this week.
Free shipping is a big thing nowadays.
Yes.
Everybody loves free shipping. Amazon started it, and now everybody has to cater to that. So
Okay. So there isn't.
actually sticker mule, I don't know. So let me just understand what you're talking about. So I had an engagement party, and we
Mhm.
had a acrylic board, right? Clear see-through plastic with our with words attached to it that we had affixed to the clear thing. Is that something that sticker mule can do for us?
Uh, I, yeah, I believe so. Hold on, let me get. Should have had this already loaded up. Sorry, everybody.
No, it's cool.
It's just how you know this is definitely a live show.
This is what happens, people. This is when people are actually not just trying to sell you something, but they're trying to actually figure out if the products that they're selling to you are actually working for you, right? So, um, actually, I think that from what Keith said earlier is something that I think is available and that you guys can do. Like you can order these uh, transcripts or these writings to have them printed on something. This is a print on something.
Yeah. So here. That is. So yeah, here's the Sticker Mule site. They update the deals weekly. Look at the products, stickers, labels, magnets, buttons, packaging, T-shirts, and more. What's in the more? It's keychains, custom pins, temporary tattoos, coasters, yard signs. Now, I've worked with Vistaprint in the past. What Vistaprint used to be great, but then they got a new president in who decided to stop selling free stuff. Sticker Mule is new, so they're still doing the free stuff. They send you free stickers, like a nice little Sticker Mule sticker that came free with one of my orders. Here's one of the coasters, a sample of the coaster that they sent with one of my orders. Now, one thing I did was for my genealogical services, I got Son of Swift stickers printed up, and this is lovely. It fits on the back of my laptop, and it's high quality and for a good price. I got 10 of these stickers for only $19. Well, not even not that, like only $9 with free shipping through the deals. And they have pretty good prices on all the materials as they are already. So that if you're looking for branded merchandise, I highly recommend that you check out Sticker Mule today. That also,
That's good. That's stuff you've actually used.
yeah. So now I've been promoting my own work in art that I've done on TeePublic, and you can visit my merch store at teepublic.com/store/Swift. And if you so choose, if you want to set up your own store with your own branded merchandise, T-shirts, hats, polos, sweatshirts, click on the link below, t.pub/lick/AS21, and set up your own merch store. And it already gives you everything you need to do to be able to just upload your artwork, and they take care of everything for you. They do the printing, the shipping, the sales. You don't have to worry about any of the overhead, no storage, not holding on to anything. They print everything as it's ordered and sent it out, and then you get a percentage of the sales.
Hey, make sure you print in CMYK and not in RGB.
Of course, yes. So I highly recommend checking out teepublic.com. You can check out our store, teepublic.com/store/Swift, or sign up using the link below to set up your own TeePublic store. And then, of course, this podcast and others on this network and in Truckers Die as well wouldn't run without our friends at StreamYard. You see that powered at StreamYard sticker up in the corner there. This is wonderful live stream technology that they have a free account where you're able to upload things such as banners and artwork as you see are set up here. But also, if you want so choose to have a paid account, it gives you so much more. So click on StreamYard.com or use the link in the description below and sign up today, and then you can live stream and do so much more than if you're just doing the base YouTube live stream or Google. All right, back to the show. So, all right, so now we're going to jump to our friends at Lower Decks.
Ooh, next week, right?
Yep. So Lower Decks, of course, yes, season 5 will be premiering next week on Paramount Plus. And so we already have had a teaser trailer and a trailer. On last week's Trekkers Delight, we did a breakdown of the trailer. Now we have a clip from ostensibly the first episode. Now, there was a clip that was released at Comic-Con showing Tendi with her Orion crew on a mission.
Are you gonna play it or no?
Oh, I just have a picture here from it. So here we have, in the clip we have from that was showed at New York Comic Con, we have the Lower Decks crew heading to the bridge because of a situation. There was a microfissure in space. Mariner complaining that we seem to have a lot of them these days. And then the ship gets pulled in, and suddenly they find themselves face to face with the Cerritos of an alternate universe. And that Cerritos is captained by Captain Becky Freeman, aka the alternate universe Mariner. And you also see a Rutherford in the background that is a full cyborg, and you see a Boimler with a full beard.
You know what's funny is that the company I work for is actually called Freeman, and the is actually a family name, so they are Freeman. The people that actually own it at the end of the bill are called Carrie Freeman.
Okay.
So that's I don't know. I just find that funny, just because that's my experience in my life.
Okay. So we also got the official poster for Lower Deck Season 5. And just as we had with every previous season, where it mimics the poster for the movie of the same number. So Season 1 was the motion picture. Season 2 matched the Wrath of Khan. Season 3 matched the Search for Spock. Season 4 matched the one with the whales. Season 5 matches the Final Frontier.
Final Frontier, right?
And of course, this being the final season, they just made it, instead of the Final Frontier, saying the final season. And as we discussed on Thursday's show, the Targ, the giant Targ we have there at the bottom instead of Cybok and his.
Oh my God!
Unicorn.
That I don't think that anything in season 5 should be canon, because number one, how can you reach the center of the galaxy in any decent time?
Yes, we've discussed that, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about Lower Deck Season 5.
It bothers me.
Yeah, so but here we have a recreation of the Star Trek V poster with our Lower Decks crew, with the tagline, "The adventure begins when their shift ends." Star Trek Lower Decks. Now, coming out of the panel, now of course you saw the panel. It was actually one of the few times all 4 of the cast members were together in person, because they do all their audio recording separately. And in fact, they were in 3rd season of Lower Decks before Jack Quaid had met Eugene Cordero. They had done all these scenes together, but never actually met in person.
Right.
So them showing up at New York Comic Con was the first time, one of the few times all 4 of them have been together. They had hoped that they could do another live action and get Rutherford and Tendi in live action, played by Eugene Cordero and Noel Wells. And there's just a sense of idea that even though this is the final season, this will not be the end of their story. So we already are being introduced to Section 31 as a long trek. There's rumors that Patrick Stewart wants to do a Picard long trek, ending out his story after the end of Picard season 3. Could it, and this, and I'll give full credit. Sean Farrick at Trek Culture discussed this as well, and he actually attended the panel. Could there be a Lower Decks movie, most likely a direct to streaming like Section 31, coming in the years ahead?
It's hard to do movies because you have to do them with the understanding that the viewer knows nothing about what's going on at the beginning, and you have to tell them everything through the story.
Well,
I don't. It's not like I don't want it, but I would. But it's hard to do.
Well, it's not like the motion picture didn't have to completely introduce everyone into what Star Trek Starfleet was. They expected people to come in with their memories of the original series. I mean,
Right.
you didn't have to start every Marvel movie with a complete recitation of every Marvel movie that came before. You were expected
No,
to.
but they hashed out. First of all, Marvel. I will say this: Marvel did a fantastic thing in ironing out 20 years of movies.
Mhm.
Nobody else has done that. It would be so awesome if Star Trek did that
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, we're going to iron out 20 years of Star Trek."
Well, remember when they were first talking about what the Marvel Cinematic Universe was going to be, the inspiration they gave was Star Trek in the 90s.
Yes,
The way Next Generation led into Deep Space Nine, led into Voyager, and that there was things that overlapped, and then
it was
the
about the
Next Generation
past.
movies all overlapped.
It was about the past, but it wasn't about the future. Morales.
Okay,
Anyway,
but yeah, so just a possibility that the story is going on now. There was It was pointed out that there had been the announcement of a live action comedy series that Tawny Newsome was co writing. There was no talk of it whatsoever at New York Comic Con. And when Tawny was asked about it during the Lower Decks panel, she said it hasn't been officially greenlit, so it's still kind of up in the air.
right.
So it sounds like they made that announcement back at San Diego Comic Con a bit prematurely.
Okay.
So it's not a set thing that we're going to get a live action comedy show.
Well, we'll
Okay.
see on Thursday, right?
I mean, it's going to be a while. We'll get Lower Decks season 5 starting Thursday. 2 episodes will be airing,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
and let's see. I believe we still do not have a episode list. I mean, names of the episodes. Whereas by this point with season 4, at least Memory Alpha doesn't have it. Okay, so moving on to the last series we're talking about, and that is Fleet Academy. There were 2 announcements concerning Starfleet Academy at New York Comic Con. The first was a new cast member joining for season 1, and that being Tatiana Maslany, well known for the series Orphan Black. And then from there, she went on to the Perry Mason remake on HBO Max. And then did I freeze up or just everything kind of reset there?
Oh, you freezed up. I didn't hear you.
What is going on? Jason, can you hear me?
Yeah. So, yeah, she was. I saw her in that show. What'd you say? Something black. And he is frozen. Anyway, I saw her in some show that was like she was this person and that person and different persons and different personalities of herself. Um, I didn't finish the show, but I did see like season one maybe uh, of who she was, and it was really interesting. So the fact that it was interesting and I didn't finish the show, I'm kind of wondering about myself. So the fact it's Starfleet Academy and she is in it, it's great. I don't even know what we're gonna do with Starfleet Academy. Like, what era are we
Hey,
going
so I
to
lost camera 1, so jumping on with camera 2 here.
portray ourselves in? Like, are we after Picard? Are we after TNG? Are we after Voyager?
Oh,
The point is like, what is the timeline that we are going to have Starfleet Academy? And
it's going to be following off of Discovery Season 5. We already know that Admiral Vance, Tignet, Jet Reno, the EMH, and one other cast member from Discovery will be continuing on the show, and that Mary Wiseman's Tilly will be a regular appearance on Starfleet Academy.
wait, okay. So what are you telling me? Um, First of all, Discovery season 5 has nothing to do with our timeline, right?
It's the far future. It's the 32nd century.
Right. So my
Yeah,
question is, where is Starfleet Academy taking place?
it is taking place in the 32nd century. So the Academy will be split between reclaiming the old Starfleet Academy site on planet Earth, but also some episodes will be set in the Academy in space.
Okay, okay. As far as what we know is Star Trek's,
Yeah.
where does it take place in Star Trek's?
Once again, the 32nd century after season 5 of Discovery.
Okay, so it's after season 5 of Discovery, but it is
Yes.
in our space.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we get another new cast member, Tatiana Maslany, and then they also had the news. Come on, why can't it? I don't know why it's not. Come on. I don't. This this should definitely be a lot simpler than it. Uh, and then they also have the news that Starfleet Academy, despite not a, having released a single episode or even actually taped a single episode, they're still in pre-production, has already been renewed for season 2.
No, my question was, where do they take place? That's that. I mean, I
Jason,
guess
how many times do I have to answer this question?
no. You answered it. It's fine. You did answer it. You did answer it. So it's
Yes,
fine.
I answered it several times.
No, the last time you answered it, but the first time you didn't. It's fine.
Okay, but yeah, it is. We have known for a while now that Academy is set in the 32nd century because, as Alex Kurtzman said about it, you have, as we saw at the beginning of Discovery season 4, they had just reopened the Academy. So this is them. We're now seeing the more foundational things of how the Academy is working, reopening, and the idea of setting it in like the 25th century, where Picard season 3 left off, or the late 24th century, where Lower Decks and Prodigy end
Right.
off, would not be as interesting as the 32nd century is.
Like the 32nd century seems so far off. It's crazy. So okay, let's do this. Let's iron out where every single iteration of Star Trek exists.
Okay.
So let's say Where is TOS?
TOS runs from 2262 until 2265.
Okay. Then where's
And
TNG?
TNG runs from 2363 to 2370.
So that is
24th century.
300. Where are we at right now? I can't even remember.
2024. So you're talking 340 years in the
300.
future.
Okay. And then Voyager is about the same place, right?
Now, Voyager starts in 2372 and runs until 2379.
And Enterprise.
Enterprise is in 2163.
So that's the one that's most likely right around the corner.
Actually, I'm sorry. Is it? Actually, I think it's 2150. It's 2151. Yeah, 2151 to 2155. But
Okay.
yes, it is 120, 130 years in our
So
future.
this is my problem. Is that when you're talking about lower decks, it's 23?
Yes.
That's
Lower Decks starts after Voyager, so it starts in 2380.
yeah, that's crazy. That's so much time.
Well, it's a logical projection from Voyager ended out. Yes, we then went from Voyager 2380, cut back 200 years for Enterprise, and
Wait,
it picked up basically where we were 100 years after First Contact.
wait, you said you said Voyager was 2380?
No, Voyager ended in 2379. Lower Decks starts in 2380.
Okay.
And of course, that carries us to the mid 2380s. Prodigy started in 2382.
Right.
And so it's also going to the mid 2380s. Picard started in 2399 and ended out with 2401.
No, it's just it's weird to me. You said two what TOS started in 21 something,
No, 22.
22 something.
Yes, 2262.
Okay.
It's difficult because Roddenberry never wanted to put a date on it. In fact, they did make it sound like it was 300, 400, 600 years in the future at times. It wasn't until you got the end of TNG season one that they actually put a date on when Next Generation is set.
Right.
And then from that, people were, and of course, it was at the beginning of Star Trek 3 that they said in the 22nd century, or no, in the 23rd century.
Okay.
So, yes. So original series, Strange New Worlds, this first two seasons of Discovery, and all of the original series movies. So motion picture, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, Voyage Home, Final Frontier, and Undiscovered Country all take place in the 23rd century.
Okay. Gotcha.
Uh,
Thank
TNG, DS9, Voyager, all of the Next Generation movies, Lower Decks, and Prodigy take place in the 24th century.
Gotcha.
Picard begins at the end of the 24th century and goes into the 25th. The seasons 3, 4, and 5 of Discovery take part in the 32nd century. And Starfleet Academy will be picking up where Discovery left off. All right, we're at an hour now, so let's just get through the last of it. So, yeah, so we already have season 2 of Strange New Worlds is confirmed. So, the last thing we're talking about, we talked about on the Thursday night show about the new fan home model. So we're not getting into that, but we are going to talk about the brand new toys. So
Toys.
the company Nacelle is taking over the toys, and this is their first set that they are going to be giving us. The first five figures being Captain Jellicoe from Star Trek Next Generation, Season 6, Episodes Chain of Command, and
Right.
from Prodigy as an Admiral. Peter Preston from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. That's the nephew of Scotty.
Let's get it.
Val
Died.
Chris.
He died, right? He
Yep.
died.
Val Chris from Star Trek III is the search for Spock. She's the woman that stole the information about the Genesis Project and transmitted it to Commander Krug of the Klingons. Captain Garrett from yesterday's Enterprise, Season 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation. And finally, the fifth one, Tuvix from Star Trek Voyager.
You gotta have Tuvix, bro. Like you gotta
So
have
here,
it.
so it's Jellicoe,
And
Captain Jellicoe, Peter
this,
Preston,
this is the thing.
Tuvix,
You
Val
can
Chris.
buy Tuvix, and you can choose to kill him or not kill him.
Yeah.
That is your choice.
Now, those five were the only five that they had available for New York Comic Con, and they had both them in the regular size and in large scale production for display. But they did announce three additional, as you'll see here: Mirror Archer from Season 4 of Enterprise in A Mirror Darkly, the two-parter; Wei
Well, you
Yun from Deep Space Nine, the great Jeffrey Combs; and Captain Sulu, as seen in Star Trek 6: The Undiscovered Country and the Voyager episode Flashbacks.
no, that picture is from him and Voyager.
No, that
And
picture is from the opening of Star Trek 6: The Undiscovered Country.
is it okay?
Yes, because the very first thing we see is the him uh taking the sip of the tea and then setting it down, and then as the ship gets rocked by the energy waves from the explosion of Praxis, the teacup falls to the ground and breaks.
Okay, I am wrong.
Yeah.
Great, understood.
Yeah. So these are some interesting choices.
Which is actually a really good prominent time like element in Star Trek is Sulu drinking that cup before that happens.
Well, I don't know if he's actually going to have the cup, but we'll see. Well, we know when Playmates retook over the contract a couple years ago, they were doing Discovery, so they did Burnham and Saru. Uh, this is the Saru action figure available from Playmates as part of their contract, and as in addition to them, you can see the other ones they had on the back. They had the original Star Trek where they had Kirk and Spock and Khan from the movies, and then from TNG, Picard, Riker, and Data. So that's all we had from Playmates recently.
I guess the question is, are you gonna get any of these figures?
I'm thinking about it. I think I might get Rachel Garrett because that is my favorite episode of TNG, the yesterday's Enterprise.
Really, it
Uh,
is.
I might get Wei Yun just so that I could have a Jeffrey Combs action figure.
You know what? I actually really like Wei Yun, and I actually really like Jeffrey Combs. Um, for all the people that he has portrayed in Star Trek, I think he has done a really fucking good job at
Mm-hmm.
everyone that he has done, including Wei Yun. Like it's so Wei Yun itself is just so fucking interesting, right?
Well, what's incredible is Wei Yun was supposed to be a one-off. He was only supposed to be in the one episode, but Jeffrey Combs was so good
I didn't
that
know that.
yeah, he was in the episode. He was killed at the end of the episode. So they created the idea that his species are clones so
Yes,
that they could bring him back.
yeah, he is really good at being Wayne. Wayne one, Wayne two, three, four, five, six, seven.
Yeah.
What did we get up to?
Yeah,
I think we
he
got
died
Wayne
in seven.
five, seven.
Well, we mainly saw 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay,
Yeah, the original Wayun we met was either 3 or 4.
great
And then
fucking
that one was killed by the Jem'Hadar. Then we saw one that was killed some during. I remember not remember exactly. I think it's during the
You
lead up.
know
And
what
there
was
was
so
one that died in a transporter accident that may or may not have been Damar's fault. Oh yeah, that's right. Number 4 died in a transporter accident. Number 5 went rogue and went and teamed up with Odo to go
well the
to
thing is that like he did a great job in every single instance of William, right? We liked him
mhm.
as an adversary, and we understood him as an adversary,
Yeah,
and
so Wayun 3 was killed by the Jem'Hadar. Wayun 4 was killed probably by Damar. Wayun 5 committed suicide in service of Odo. Wayun 6 was killed by Worf. Worf snapped his neck. And Wayun 7 was killed by Garrick at the end of the war.
yeah, and
So,
he was so different than the Andorian, right? That he
oh yeah,
played.
Shran from Enterprise, yes.
Yeah.
And so much, and he's also Brunt FCA of the Ferengi.
Yes. Oh yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Seriously, yes, he tremendous talent. There was I did mention forget to mention there were other Playmate starter toys. We did have the Prodigy toys that came out. Unfortunately, we did not get all of them. They we got Dal, Jankum, uh, Gwyn, Zero, of course, and Murph, but we did not get Rock Talk or Hologram Janeway before they let the contract lapse. They were only basically selling them on Amazon and at Target, and they didn't do well enough to put sales. But the fact that the sell is going for characters that are not very well known, you've got that's got to make you think that they're going deep in and be like Playmates did in the 90s, where you had variants. You had Playmate Star Trek toys of characters from only one episode,
Right.
or even from the comics, because they had the Starfleet Academy series of toys as well. All right, so that wraps up our news list for today. Jason, thank you for joining me since we got through this with just
Thank
over
you.
an hour, so a bit
Thank you
longer
for having
than
me.
we planned, but thank you anyway. Thank you, of course. Remember, we are committed to trying to save Lower Decks. Season 5 starts this Thursday, but you have the change.org uh, petition where you can sign to try to save Lower Decks. And of course, we want to try to get Prodigy season 3 as well. So keep on the lookout for a Prodigy thing as well. And for that wraps it up. So thank you all for watching.
Thank
For
you.
for, for Trekker's Delight, I've been Keith F. Sheldon. He's been Jason McCammon. Remember to like and share. Leave your comments below. This is being live streamed to the AS21 on YouTube channel, and it will be downloaded and loaded up on the Truckers Delight YouTube channel later this week. So thank you all for watching, and live long and prosper.